Alright, we are doing the Egyptian Tarot reading for humanity, November. A 12 card spread. 15 card spread, I'm sorry. Things are getting interesting here across the world. I just watched John Ho get interviewed. And he was talking about how many countries are starting to rebel against their governments. Years ago, I said the world needs a world revolution. A world revolution. Not a specific country. The whole world needs to stand up to these tyrants and these elitists. Old world throwing up new world bullshit. You know, claiming to be the Mr. Know-It-Alls, and they know what's right for us when they can't even practice what they preach. And people fall for that shit. That's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of shit. They're throwing up. It's like that South Park episode where they start pooping out of their mouths. And then you got a bunch of public people that eat it up, that eat that poop coming out of their mouths. I ain't eating it. Nope. Not eating their poop that's coming out of their mouths. You know what I am eating though? I'm eating from the Tree of Life. I am fulfilling the Buddhist, the Buddha mind, or the self-awareness, the true awareness of self. Then you got all this. It's funny because Trump said he's there to drain the swamp. He's so far into the swamp, he doesn't realize he's in the swamp. Like, people around him are swampy people, swamp creatures. And they're telling him to address issues in their idea of diplomacy. And their idea of diplomacy, fighting the turmoil of the country and corruption that is trying to take them out, is not the Trump way. It's not the successful entrepreneurial way. He needs to start being the voice of logic, which I think he's going to try to do, but he's being advised by people who don't have a very good logical mind, is the way I'm understanding it. So this is going to draw out for a while, this whole impeachment hearing and whatnot. It might be, I don't know, December 12th, 12/12, let's just go with that. December 12th area, there's going to be a full moon again. And we might have a conclusion at that point. And the conclusion, because they won't be able to get 21 Republicans to vote impeachment in the Senate, is going to be, you're going to hear the left saying, we got some Republicans to vote for the impeachment, but the rest of them are they're just going to continue their name calling and their agenda of what they've been saying. They're just going to continue doing it. But it's not going to go through the Senate. He has nothing to worry about. He needs to continue focusing on what he's been doing, what his goals are. Alright. Been talking for like 5 minutes. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that notification. Go to my Patreon. Support me, please. I am not making any money right now. My job was seasonal. I've been off for a week. This is my second week. I'll be off for another week. So until November 15th, I'm not working. So if you could please help me out with some finances, that'd be great. You can go to Teespring and search for Thoth Marks, plural. Got him. Let's see what else I got. My Patreon is Thothmark. Patreon.com/Thothmark. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm still working for you. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. You don't have to like the truth. Usually the truth upsets people and it hurts their feelings. You rant and rave about what you believe, who you think's telling the truth, who you think's lying. It's fine. Freedom. I believe in freedom. I believe in the First Amendment, Second Amendment. You can say, believe whatever you want. You can defend yourself however you want. I also believe you shouldn't be able to tell me what I can or can't say or defend myself by how or whatever. As well. So, don't be a hypocrite. Alright. Three more cards. You got Hong Kong protests still going on. You got alright, if you have an iPhone or you have Apple products, do realize that they only pay 3% tax, the company Apple. They also use Chinese sweat labor camps and treat people horribly. And they're actually in China. So if you are buying their products, you are supporting inhumane company, a very inhumane company. I am so anti-Apple, it's disgusting. Apple is evil. Alright? There are other companies. Motorola is made in Mexico. Samsung, South Korea. My TV is Sharp. It's made in Japan. Or South Korea. I'm sorry. South Korea. Well, a lot of things are made in South Korea. Mexico makes a lot of clothing. So it's not like you have no option and everything you buy is made in China. That's a bunch of bull BS. Lie. Stop supporting China. Oh, what about Chinese, the government and the dollar and the international? Things will bend and mold to what the people buy with, or vote for with their dollar. Whatever they spend their money on, whatever people spend their money on, the rest of the world will follow. Go to Etsy.com and buy people's handmade stuff. show them that they can't manipulate us into some kind of inhumane consideration. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And the government, if the government really cared about what they're preaching, like especially Democrats, if they really cared about global warming, climate change, or whatever, they would give us the free energy technologies and not murder people who invent these things. We would be in a world of free energy if they really practiced what they were preaching to you. But they're not practicing what they're preaching to you because they're just preaching to you shit you want to hear so you can vote for them, and then they turn around and don't do it. That's the problem with government. They never do what they say they're going to do. But yet you believe their shit. And then we get a president that the establishment hates. Doesn't that tell you something, people? Establishment that never does what they tell you they're going to do hates Trump. And he's doing what he said he was going to do. Most of it. Hello? Wake up. Stop believing the emotional bullshit that they're feeding off of you from. Alright, I'm going to pick 3 cards. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Excuse me. Alright, so on this spread, for humanity, okay, so this will be up here. Alright. First card we pulled. Sorry, I haven't memorized how to do this. You know, I have a lot of things I'm doing. If you were actually paying attention, you would know that. And I hope you are. First card corresponds to character and basic personality as well as general attitude towards life for humanity has towards yourself in life. And the card I pulled for November is the Sun. So the sign in Pitois, Pitois, Pack was represented by a radiant sun that shone on 2 children. Imagine images of innocents who held hands inside a circle decorated with flowers. It is a symbol of happiness promised by the simplicity of life and the moderation of desires. Remember, O Son of Earth, the light of mysteries is a formidable fluid, but to the service of will by nature. It illuminates those who know how to direct it and strike those who ignore or abuse its power. Positive, harmony, friendship, serenity, sincere feelings, love, happiness, satisfaction, positive period, solution of problems, artistic illumination, faithful collaborators, glory, honor, fame. Negative, vanity, hypocrisy, frivolity, egoism, irritability, susceptibility, incomprehension, unhappiness, unsurmountable difficulties, unjustified obstination, lack of friends, delayed success, or success achieved with enormous suffering. And that was the overall general personality, I think it was. Character and basic personality, as well as general attitude to life. And that says everything. There are those who are on the negative side of the sun, and there are those on the positive side of the sun. Luckily, 2/3 of humanity is on the positive side, 1/3 is on the negative side. And I talked about the 2/3 and 1/3 of the population and ideals and beliefs in my Oracle readings video. So go watch that, if you haven't already. The second card is problems currently affecting us. And it was the King of Chalices. King of Chalices, the Lord of Bounty. A sovereign is seated on a high-backed chair in a relaxed attitude. Positive side, man of medicine or letters. Established professional person who helps the current. Negative, conflict with a powerful man, loss of credibility, scandal. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Problems currently affecting us. And the next card represents family environment. And I think this is the Chariot. The Chariot is portrayed by a square-shaped war chariot surmounted by a starry baldachin sustained by 4 columns. And an armored victor advances in his chariot, holding a scepter and a sword in his hands. He is crowned with a gold circlet ornated with 3 pentagrams or 5 pointed stars. The square chariot symbolizes the completed opera of the will that vanquishes obstacles. The 4 columns of the starry baldachin represents the 4 elements subject to the master of the scepter and of the sword. On the square front of the chariot, a sphere sustained by 2 unfurled wings is painted, a sign of the boundless exhilaration of human power and the infinite of space and time. The golden crown on the victor's brow signifies possession of the intellectual light that illuminates all the arcana of fortune. The 3 stars that ornate it symbolize power balanced with intelligence and wisdom. 3 squares are traced on his armor, signifying the rectitude of will, justice, and action, donated by the strength that the chariot symbolizes. The upturned sword is the sign of victory. The scepter is surmounted by a triangle, symbol of the spirit, by a square, symbol of matter, and by a circle, symbol of eternity. It signifies the perpetual dominion of intelligence over the forces of nature. 2 sphinxes, one white and the other black, draw the chariot. The white one symbolizes good, the black evil. One conqueror and the other conquered. Both have become the handmaids of the magician who triumphed in the trials. Remember, O son of earth, that the empire of the world belongs to those who possess sovereignty of spirit. That is the light and illuminates the mysteries of life, smashing obstacles. You will overcome your enemies and your desires by realized in your confront the future with daring and armed by awareness of your right. Positive, triumph, success, spiritual or material evolution achieved with intelligence. honors, recognize merits, ambitions, direction, government. Negative, failure, lack of success, defeat, incapacity, problems due to one's own mistakes, sudden loss of an already certain result, bad government. That was with family. The chariot represented the family environment for November. Number 4, relationships with children, education, and preferred pastimes and pleasures. And that's the Lover's card. Represented by a man standing immobile on the corner formed by the junction of two roads. His eyes are fixed on the ground and his arms crossed over his chest. Two women, one on his right and the other on his left, place one on their hands on his shoulders, showing him the two roads. The woman on the right has her brow bound with the golden circle and personifies virtue. The one on the left is crowned with vine shoots and represents the tempter vice. Above this group, the genius of justice, lighting in a dazzling halo, tightens his bow and directs the arrow of chastisement towards vice. The whole of this scene represents the struggle between passion and conscience. Remember, O son of earth, that for common men the attractions of vice are more prestigious than the austere beauty of virtue. If the Arcana, Lover's card, appears in the horoscope, take care in selecting your solutions. Obstacles in front of you block the road you are looking for. Opposing probabilities glide around your head, and your will facilitates between opposing parties. In all cases, indecision is more disastrous than a bad choice. Go forwards or retreat, but remember that the chain of flowers is more difficult to break than the chain of iron. Positives, trial, examine, attempt, important choice, and the effective, professional or commercial field, and others. A decision is necessary. Marriage, pledge, pact. Negative, falsity, temptation, guilty love, failure in a trial, unfaithfulness, separation, love not exchanged, missed promises, indecision. So that is relationship with children, education, and preferred pastimes and pleasures. So, if you're dealing with family, not family environment, that was the chariot. If you're dealing with relationship with children, so if you're dealing with children, education, or preferred pastimes and pleasures, take the virtuous road and not the vice road. Next card. Travels, plans, and correspondence. 2 of Pentacles. Thoth's power. The god of Thoth, doctor and magician, holds the eye that Horus lost during his struggle with Set. The reconquest of light over the shadow begins in this way. Positives, difficulties on the way of being solved, recovery process, return to order. Negative, injustice, bad news, economic fluctuations, instability. So, if you're traveling, be honest, be just, and you'll be able to. If the positives of your journey would be recovery process, return to order. If the negatives is economic fluctuations, instability, so it's going to cost you. It may cause some instability. Number 6 gives indicates about study companions, work colleagues, or business partners. 3 of Wands. Three Wands, the flowing papyrus, the magic scepter of the Egyptian mother god, symbol of triumph and gaiety. Positive, accurate preparation, fruitful encounters, fertility, births, beginning of success. Negative, passage, transition towards an unknown future. And so, study companions, work colleagues, or business partners. It's just, you have to be diligent in recognizing is it positive or negative, and that tells you what's going to happen. If it's positive, what can happen. So it's like it's like the death card almost. Number 7. Profit, wealth, estate, and property. We have the 7 of Pentacles. The royal diadem, a head covering of ostrich feathers surrounded by 7 coins, is a symbol of power and well-being. Positive, recovery, harvesting the fruits of one's own work, exchange, start a business. Negative, impatience, apprehension, anxiety, need for money, financial difficulties. So if you're stressed out about money, you're going to get what you're feeling. It's going to manifest itself with profits, wealth, estate, and property. If you feel like, if you keep your mental mind in recovery, harvesting the fruits of one's own work, exchange, start a business, and this is where faith in self comes from, or it comes in handy, or it helps. Faith in yourself. Don't resonate with fear and doubt. Resonate with faith and hope. All right, number 8. Love, sexuality, marriage, and sentimental relationships. 7 of Wands. Neck bets vulture. See what it looks like. The amulet linked to the power of the Mother God, symbol of the return of all living beings to nature. Positive, discussions, negotiations, plans of alliance, enemies into a front, lively exchange of ideas. Negative, violent clash of opinions, risk of financial losses, weakness, awe. That was love, sexuality, marriage, sentimental relationships. It's just resonate with the positive emotions and feelings instead of, resonating with the negative ones. Next card. Health, illness, and psychophysical energy. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, Lady of Glory. A princess holds a bunch of flowers while the sun shines in the sky. Positive, severe, but generous woman. Gifts from a rich relative. Marriage of convenience. Negative, hostility, suspicion, fear, lack of trust, avidity, lechery, love of power. And that's humanity's health, illness, and psychophysical energy this November. Be the queen in positive, A negative would be suspicion, fear, lack of trust. Don't put yourself in to where you feel like that. Avoid those things. All right. 10. Material and spiritual ambitions. Ace of Chalices, or Cups. Osiris' soul. And chalice, symbol of Osiris' heart, is protected by two papyruses that act as a gateway between worlds. Below there is the amulet that gives the power to free oneself from every impediment. Positive, great joy, abundance, start of a new love, family of celebrations, worldly pleasures. Negative changes, instability, involution, scarce results, small problems. That was material and spiritual ambitions. Abundance, just stay on the positive, everybody, this month, and it'll be good for you. Number 5 of wands the number 11 square, relationships with institutions, with the law and religion. Ta's power. The cross wands of power, symbol of the transformation of terrestrial energies. Positive, division, consensual separation, divorce. Onerous, commitment, difficult competition. Negative, enemies to affront, deceit, contradiction, controversies, violent actions. So this is conflict in institutions